تعمل
تكاسل.
I actually open up by speaking about the falling apple. There's been two apples in my life. One is the correlation, which led to all this. And the other is the tzakara, which we haven't done. It's in the book which I gave you, which is waiting for you. The apple is, why is the statue of the king gazing towards the northern stars at this angle? Amazingly, nobody asks. It's like nobody asks why is there three pyramids and what is offset. It's one of those things. Apples, tomatoes, cucumbers have been falling for millions of years, but one man said, why is it falling? That is known as the Hermetic quest. Thought. Hermes is thought, and he places these questions. The Oedipus facing the Sphinx and says, who am I? Have you seen the film Don Juan de Marco?
Yes.
Well, he finds, says, who am I? And says, you are. So, ultimately is to discover who you are. The prize is to discover who you are. Once you know who you are at the end, you've achieved your life mission. If you fail, you fail.
Well said, Mr. Bauval.
It's a good place to discuss this, huh? So I think I know a bit who I am. The question is, who are you? Well, let me tell you how it works, to simplify things for you. You are either about to or have started to exit your processed self, which is false. You were born in a certain context, and those who have raised you have processed you, and your schooling, your teachers, your bosses, your whatever. And you either stay there, which most people do, or you feel uncomfortable with that. That's the first sign of asking, something's wrong here. Am I really what I think I am? It isn't. It's just that the universe does not intend you to be a doctor or a lawyer or a tour operator. It intends you to be who you are. If you are brave enough and courageous enough to find out. So that's the first step. The second step is to identify a model. You have models in history. Francis of Assisi, you have Mahatma Gandhi, you have Christ, you have Muhammad. These are models. You have Helen of Troy, you have models. Alexander the Great. Who do you resemble most? Who do you think you resemble most? And therefore you seek your archetype. You seek and this archetype, who has lived his archetype, has performed certain things in his life that is true to his archetype. And you'll find yourself pursuing the same things. You know, whether it's a philanthropic mission, or whether it is a mission of discovery, or whether it is a mission of even of conquest. Those who have followed their missions, even though destructively, is Napoleon, Alexander the Great, Caesar, Christ, Mahatma Gandhi, Muhammad, and many others. Many unknown others. So you find your archetype and you start understanding what seems to be your mission. Then that's the easy part. Tough part is to pursue it. because it may not be at all what you think you are going to do. You may do what Francis did, he threw all his belongings out of the window and wander into nature. You have the strength of character and the conviction that this is what you're supposed to do. What would be nice, now that we've talked, is either this evening or another evening, we'll see that film. It's another chance. It's the pursuit of, it is the awakening of a man. In the case of woman, there's also a woman involved, Claire, who is his counterpart. They have an extraordinary platonic love, as if he really understood this. And she is encouraged by him because he's the one who does it. You know, his rejection of his false self is so violent that he becomes ill. He virtually kills the human being.
The process.
Yes. That's why people kill themselves, is that they are very unhappy with who they are. But it doesn't have to reach into a death. If he's lucky, then the horror of facing annihilation may be presented with an epiphany. The epiphany in his case was that in his deathbed, he realizes that he can be happy. He was pursuing happiness in the wrong way, and he realized that happiness is an extremely simple thing. The birds are happy, the flowers are happy, the butterflies are happy. He wants to be like them. And he realized that this is the apostolic mission, that Christ actually said that that's where happiness is. And therefore he begins his apostolic mission. He's ostracized, of course, because he's a threat to those who have created power bases and control. He's a threat to the church. And he is ostracized by the church. They burned his new apostolic church. And he decides, he thinks that it can't be so because what he's doing is right, but it seems to be wrong. So he takes his followers and he walks to Rome to query the Pope on what has he done wrong since he has followed the apostolic mission. It's a fantastic scene. Ali Guinness plays the Pope, and they refuse him audience, and he sits there, waits for several days. They're in rags and they look terrible. But one of his friends, who is a nobleman in Rome, arranges a meeting, provided that he will stick to a...
Reband.
No, provided he sticks to a text that is written for him, which is lauding the church and lauding the Pope and declaring his allegiance to the church. And he says that if it's the only way to see the Pope, then I'll do it. But of course,